I'm Loretta. Welcome. It's another new year, and here we are, bright and sunny and happy to be here and do our yoga. Let's begin with our breath. Let's take a few deep breaths, and while you're doing that, start to notice where you're breathing from. Are you breathing shallowly from your chest, which would look and feel like this? Or are you breathing deeper? Or are you breathing really deeper? And wherever you're breathing, take that just a little bit deeper. And let's have really long, slow, steady inhales and really long, steady, slow exhales. Straighten up on your chair. Your hips are make sure that your feet are hips width apart. And let's begin with a few more breaths. Feel them all the way through your body. One more deep breath. And that feels good. It brings me right down in, right here in this place. And that's what breath does for you. And now what I'd like us to do is to take another long, deep breath. And on our exhale, let's exhale to the sound of Om together. So let's begin. Now I'd like to invite you to do the poses with your eyes closed if you can, and to shut them at any point during during our practice that makes sense for you, because closing your eyes helps you to go inward. Yoga is about going inward and looking how you react, how you respond, how your body does in situations. It's not about comparing, no comparing at all. It's about the wonder of realizing that your body can be there for you. That's important to me, and I guess it shows, because when we know our body can be there, and yoga people call it resourcing your breath, and the breath goes to the body responds, the mind catches up, or the mind says something and the breath responds and takes over. However it works for you, make sure that you're doing long, deep, steady inhales, and you can push your breath out. That's okay. You can breathe out of your mouth. That's all right. But make sure that when you breathe, that when you inhale, you take it deep and long and serious. And when you exhale, make sure you get all of that breath out of your chest and out of your lungs and out of your tummy, and enjoy. I'm going to keep today's class, to me, the way I planned it, it seems like it's going to be a nice, easy, comfortable, welcoming class. So let's try to make it that way. Let's begin with our arms. Up and down. Up and down. We're going to do a few of these, so just get your path. Take your time. Do it with your breath. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. One last. Now come to the center with your hands, and let's come out, up, and out. And up, and out. Up and out. My shoulders so love this. I hope yours do too. It's got to be a good thing. I don't know how they get so crunched up, but doing this class each week where I really focus on our upper body and some of our lower body, it really helps me. Now, out and in, out and in. 2 more. Last one. And come on back to center. Take your hands, interlace your fingers, turn them out, bring them up. Let's do a nice altar with our arms, placing our ears in our head between our arms and looking up and breathing. One more deep breath here. And go ahead and bring your hands down. And let's take our shoulders and roll them. Roll them. This is 3. We're going to take 5. One more. And then we're going to stop. And we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to take 5 in this direction too. That's number 3. This is the last one. Now let's shrug our shoulders. Up and down. Up and down. If you drop your hands, bring your shoulders up to your ears and go ahead and crunch your head into it. We'll take care of our neck at the same time. 2 more. That felt good. Now, let's bring it across and down, and across and up and down. And let's do one more on each side. And now what I'd like us to do with our shoulders. This is one of those joint warmers that I liked so much. And what it is like let's circle our shoulders. And so that kind of looks like moving one in front of the other, but there is a rotation there. See if you can get that rotation in and out, because this feels different than any of the other ones. One more on this side, and come on to the stop. And sit up straight. Deep breath in and out. Let's take a little bit of head movement, and let's begin with our infinity circle, keeping it nice and loose. And that is a figure 8 turned on its side, in case you're not aware of what an infinity circle is. A couple more here. And then bring it to the middle and stop. Shake your head no. And stop and nod your head yes. Just as long as this is comfortable for you. And stop and go no again. And come to the center. And then let's take a deep breath and turn your head to the right. Now I want you to do this in a way that feels safe, that doesn't hurt your neck, but I also want you to just a little bit push the envelope. So take a deep breath in and turn to your right. Put your head over your shoulder. And look back. Only as far as you're comfortable. I don't want you to hurt your neck in any way for this. This is a neck release. One more. And come on back to center. And let's go to the other side. So deep breath in. And go ahead and turn your head till it's comfortable. Another deep breath in. And release. One more. and come on back to center. Let's just take our head a little bit and go back to our infinity circle, so make sure you're comfortable. And this practice is going to be slow and steady. So what I'd like us to do here is to take one of our fingers and start coaxing our chin up, coaxing, coaxing, so that we're sitting straight up, we're square, our back is, our spine is straight. Now look how open I am, all the way from my pubic floor, basically my pelvic floor, all the way through, up and through my chin. We're opening up all those chakras of energy by breathing into them. So let's do that a couple of breaths. And just notice how you feel. One more deep breath here. And take your chin and gently coax it back down, supporting it all the way down to your chest, to your sternum, and relax. Take your arms and just drop them. Drop your head to your chest, keeping your chin tucked, and breathe. I feel this opening up my upper shoulders, my neck. Even the tops of my arms feel good from this. One more deep breath here. Take your finger and coax yourself back up. That felt good to me. Okay, now let's take our arms and start just gently doing our kidney taps or our waist taps, however it flows for you. We're mainly just taking our hands and crossing our body and touching the other side. And this is starting to loosen up our circular motion of our spine. And come on back, put your left hand on your right knee, take your right hand and go ahead and place it over the back of your chair if you like. Or put it on the back of your, not on the top of your chair, but in the back. See, you can see how I do it. For me, this is more comfortable, but for you, it may be this way. However works for you the best is what I'd like you to take today as your starting point. And we're going to do some deep twists with our breath and our body. So deep breath in and turn. Now, if you remember, I always say if you take happy thoughts here, your neck stays loose. And I really believe that. So go ahead and do that. We're going to take one more deep breath in on our turn, flooding our heart with love. Now take your head like you just saw someone you really care about and you want to smile at them, and turn your head a little bit more and give them a smile. And come on back. Take your other side, hand on knee, head loose, deep breath in, and turn. Turn like there's someone you really want to see back there. And look for them. And flood your heart with love for them. One more deep breath in. And smile at them. Hi, it's good to see you. And come on back. I'm a little goofy, but that's okay. Let's take our side to side. And in this case, how about if we just take our arms straight out and we just take our sides from our waist and just start moving the hip, not the hips, the waist. Start moving at the waist. This is where the waist is. And we're going to just move our torso from one side to the other. You can start with your hands on your waist if it works easier for you, and then bring them out. And then take your right hand, drop it to the chair, Bring your left hand up. Really remember, if you can, the line of energy that flows throughout your body, especially through the side panel for this stretch. So let's take a deep breath in and go ahead and move to the side. Now, the important thing here is to keep your heart open and keep your chest open. So go ahead and as much as you can, shine your chest out to the world while your side is bending over and you're opening up that whole entire panel of your energy. And then come on back up and let's do the same to the other side. Up and over. Chest out, look under your arm. Don't bend your arm unless you can bend your arm, but don't collapse, okay? Because we want to keep that chest high. We want to keep our body open and available for the breath that's flooding through us. And come on back up. Now, just for the heck of it, let's just take a few side to sides, and we'll just take them gently. And just make sure those side panels are wide open. We don't want to forget any part of our body when we do this. One more on each side. And come on back down. Let's take our feet and let's take our right foot, bring it up and over. And let's take a deep breath in, and we're going to hinge at the hips, and we're going to fold over the knee as much as our body will allow us to. And let loose. So tuck your chin, but be conscious. Hinging at the hips, bending over, dropping our arms, feeling this very much across our shoulders, across our glutes, the inside of our thighs. And when you're comfortable, come on back up. And take your knee. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our hands under it. We're gonna support it. And we're gonna point, and flex. And point and flex. Point and flex. Two more. Okay, now let's take and circle our ankles. And when that feels like you're comfortable with that, go ahead and stop and go in the opposite direction. We're just waking our body up. And then just let your leg dangle and set it back down. Bring your other leg up and over your knee. Sit up straight. Square yourself off. Take a deep breath in. Hinge at the hips and come over. Now, we're all going to have one side that's easier than the other. That's okay. Take your time on both sides. Feel the release, especially in your glutes and your upper thighs. One more breath. And if it's comfortable, come on back up. Take your foot out with your arms under it. And we're going to point and flex. Sit up straight now. Square yourself off. Point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. One more. Now let's take and circle our ankles. Go the other direction. And let our leg dangle. And then set it down. Now take your legs and bring them close together. And this is how we're going to do our hip openers today. Instead of holding our foot up and doing all that, we're going to take and use your hands, push them on the insides of your knees and push your legs apart. And what this is doing, it's doing two things. It's starting to open our hips, but it's also giving us a movement on our feet that we don't normally take. And so we're opening up a movement in a sidewards direction on our feet as well. So go ahead and feel both of those things. Feel your hips opening and feel your feet opening. One more. And come on back to center. And of course, it would be irresponsible of me if we didn't do a goddess squat because they really, really feel good. And they really help open up those legs and get you going well. So take your heels, they're pointing in, your toes are pointing out. Your feet are probably chairs width apart where your heels are coming together. And make sure and use your hands and push your legs apart as much as you can that feels comfortable. And maybe just a little bit of an excess over comfort. Now take your arms, bring them up and point them out. Square your body up. Make sure your torso is in alignment over your legs. Well, not over your legs, but over your hips. So hands are up. You're breathing. Your arms are pulled back so that your shoulder blades are actually almost touching. And we're going to breathe. Take a couple more breaths here. Last one. Deep breath in and out. And let your arms go. Keep your feet wide. Turn your toes to the front. Let's take a wide-legged arch. Now, we're going to do a roll down. So tuck your chin and go one vertebrae at a time and roll yourself down. So here we go. And you'll reach a certain point where you're even with your knees, when you can go ahead and drop your hands. And relax. And breathe. Now, act as if, like your head, this is the crown chakra here. When you drop your head, it's like there's a beam of light that's just shooting down all through your whole body. That chakra brings light in and through. And when we're pointing it in this direction, let's put our hands on the sides to support it. So envision this great big beam of light going into the ground as we're sitting here breathing. One more deep breath after this. Here we go, one last deep breath. Bring your hands back to your legs. Bring your arms out. And using your spine, pick yourself up. Roll yourself back up one vertebrae at a time, with your chin being the very last thing, your head coming the very last thing to come up. And go ahead and drop it. Bring your legs back together. And bring your feet hips width apart. And bring them out just a little bit further than you would normally. And we're going to take a bridge. We're going to take a bridge where we put our hands on the back of where we put our hands in back of us. And we're going to do 3 pelvic tilts to start it. So 1, 2, 3. Now lift yourself all the way up and form a bridge, so that your whole body could be the arch, with your back body holding your whole front body up and acting as one solid unit. Take one more deep breath. And come on back down. Okay, the one thing I like with our arms on that, on the joint opener is I do like this paddle thing. So let's go ahead and do a few of these paddles, just because they open up that one part of your arm that I'm not sure you get opened otherwise. That part right here, your forearms. Do them both at the same time if you want. There's kind of a swinging motion involved that I really like the feel of. And then come on back and stop. And let's stand up. All right, now, what I'd like us to do from at the very beginning of us standing up is I want us to do an awkward pose, the chair position. And it works best if you can move your feet so that they are close together, your knees are touching. You bend down like you're picking something up off the floor. Then lift your arms, leaving your knees bent. Lift your top of your body like you're sitting up straight. And then move your arms up. This is how it looks from the side. Kind of hard from this shirt, I know, but lift your arms up and breathe. One more breath. And then gently stand up and take a back bend. Doesn't have to be a big one. And then come on back down. Today, we're going to do a few of our downward facing dogs. So come to the front of your chair. Start off with your hands as wide as they can be. Excuse me, on whatever chair you have. Take your fingers and spread them wide. Your thumbs are the same width apart as your fingers. Place them steady. Now step back, flat-footed, until you can't be flat-footed. And then come forward just a little. So that the purpose is to remain flat-footed. Take your head, bring it down even with your shoulders, tucking your chin, drop your shoulders, raise your butt, and then straighten your legs. Keeping your feet hips width apart. And breathe. This position interacts with every part of your body. Your legs, your arms, your head, everything gets moved in this. And come on back up. Let's come to our plank, or whatever people would call this. I think it's closer to a plank or a chaturanga setup than anything. Come up over your hands, straight, up on your tiptoes. Your head is looking forward, and breathe. One more really deep breath. And come on back up. And take one more downward facing dog, just from the position that you're in. Make sure your feet are about hips width apart. Works better this way. Drop your head, drop your chin, drop your shoulders, rear end up, straighten your legs, and breathe. One more deep breath. And loosen up a little, and take your legs and spread them apart for the wide-legged. Take your head, put it even with your shoulders, tuck your chin, drop your shoulders, Lift your butt and straighten your legs. Now it's important not to lock your legs out. So go ahead and make sure you're not locking them out. Give yourself just a gentle little bend in them, not a bend that says your legs aren't long enough, but a bend that says I'm strong just the way I am and I don't have to lock them out. One more deep breath. And go ahead, put your hands flat on the ground, walk them towards you until you come under yourself. Take that crown chakra again, drop it down, support it with your fists, and breathe deeply. And let's take our right hand out to the side and down. Left hand out to the side and down. Do a few of these. One more on each side. And there we have that. Now, I'm going to give you a choice. You can bring your hands out to the side and raise yourself using your spine, one vertebrae at a time, and pick yourself up. Or you can take your hands and move them up your legs and gently support yourself and still pulling yourself up with your spine, with your head being the last thing to come up. Move your feet back together and come on over to the front of your chair. And let's take some leg strengtheners. One foot in front of the other, and we're going to do the bends. So deep bend. Let's take about 5 of these. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Now open up the back of your knees by taking your hips and moving them back like you're bending. Come on down. You can use your chair for balance. And go ahead and open up the back of your legs by keeping both legs straight. And bring your back foot up to the front. Take your other foot and bring it back. Let's start with our bends. And we're going to do 5 of them, so we have 2 more. That's 1. Last one. Okay, take your feet, leave them where they are. Bend your hips back, fold, come on down, and strengthen and straighten the backs of those legs, keeping them straight now. And come on back up. Okay, this is one thing I really like, and it's sort of a balance pose. Stand next to your chair, take your foot that's furthest away and bring it up. Now this, our quad stretch. And what I discovered when I was practicing this week was that I actually have pretty good balance in this. So go ahead and just take a second and feel the strength of the one leg and the balancing and the quad stretch. That's what we're really doing. And go ahead and release it. Come to the other side. Pick up the other leg. Bring it straight back. Balancing on one leg. Stay next to your chair in case you lose it. And then come on back down and lift. We're going to do heel lifts. 3, 2 more, 4, 5. And come on back down. My wrap kind of got off today, and I'm sorry about that. I seem to be taking more time than I need to on these, and that's okay, because we're just coming off of a really busy holiday and a really busy life, and things are happening all around us. Let's do one more joint opener, the one that goes up and out, up and down. And let's take 5 of these. There's 2. There's 3. Last one. And then let your arms come back and kind of just swing them until they stabilize themselves. And then lift them up. We're going to do a forward bend. And what it is hinging at the hips and laying yourself out over your lap. So hinge and fold. Drop your arms to the side of your feet and breathe. Now take your hands, if you can, put your toes under, or put your fingers under the front of your toes. If you can do this, and then take your chin again and tuck it, and feel the stretch across the bottom of your back, the bottom of your spine. And relax into it. Bring your hands back out to the side. Work your way back up your legs, using your spine to bring you up, having your head be the very last thing that comes. Gosh, I'm really running low on time here, and I really want us to have a nice Shavasana. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. And the best way I know for that is to do a little bit of breathing. So let's do the shh sound, like you're telling somebody to shh. And as we do it, with each breath in and out, go ahead and begin to really feel how your breath coordinates you. And then let your shh become more quiet. So here we go. Now close your eyes and start to come in. We're going to go right into Shavasana, where we coordinate our breath and our mind and our body, forming the core of our being. Let's go ahead and sit with that for a few minutes, letting yourself relax and know deeply how strong you truly are. And I'll let you know when it's time to come back. Go ahead and close your eyes and breathe. Start to come back. Do a little movement. What does your body feel like doing? Gently, maybe to the side, maybe circular. Maybe you want to move your hands a little and your toes. And if all of that's working well, how about taking a really nice yawn? Oh, and stretching our body like we just woke up. Taking our hands and bringing our knee in, taking a breath. And letting it down. Taking our other knee. Take one more deep breath. And let it down. Take a couple of our goddess circles with our chest and our ribs moving us around. Just a couple. And when you come back to the back, go in the other direction. Oh, I'm sorry, this seems so short to me. I wish we had more time to spend together. But let's go ahead and take 3 really great breaths, the best breaths you've taken all day. Make sure that everything gets clear. On this next breath, on the exhale, let's chant the sound of Om. Thank you so much for coming. I know it's been a hectic, crazy time around our town, around life as we know it on Earth right now. But it looks like things are really going to pick up here coming in the new year. So let's take ourselves and be the best us we can possibly be. And let's take ourselves and wish ourselves. And this is really what, take yourself and really know that this is for you, inside of you where it really counts. Love, kindness, energy, health. Bring your hands together. Thank you for joining me. I hope I'll see you again after the beginning of the year. Sorry that we had to take a break. Thanks for coming. Namaste.